Another one out there, Ron, is some people I've seen quite a few people with this one, Ron, just hunting and recreational land
Mm.
and like leasing to hunters, things like that, or just specializing in landlocked properties for hunters and they just get there through a four-wheeler on ground, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much desirability right now. I'm in a lot of these forums on Facebook because trying to sell land, like I would join these little groups, buy and sell groups, and like there is such a there's a scarcity of hunting land, and it seems like people are like fighting over getting hunting leases. So not only are you going to get this revenue per year and this cash flow, essentially, you're also going to have that appreciating asset. So doing that, leasing that out as a long term play, I think is phenomenal.
Yeah, another one that comes to mind is infill lots in fairly populated areas like cities. Infill lots in cities can be a good niche. It's hard. You got to specialize in that area a lot of times, but there's a lot of money to be made in those. I mean, you're talking these some of these lots around are going for 500,000 to a million that are like quarter acre lots. If they're zoned in the like say they're zoned commercial in a downtown area, they're just super expensive and you can make a lot of money as well.
Yeah, and a lot of those like commercial type ones, like you're gonna have to line up an end buyer. It's gonna be a lot more specialized in terms of selling the land because you need to know what it can be zoned for. Once you get closer to urban areas, like you're in main cities, like the zoning is a huge aspect, and you got to know that up front. But if you're talking about these residential infill lots, these lots are selling like you got to know the areas, so that's where kind of the niche aspect comes in, because it's pricing becomes a niche in itself because you need to price these correctly. Neighborhood to neighborhood infill lots are going to change, and they can change by 50% of the value. Like it can be so drastic from neighborhood to neighborhood. So knowing those areas really detailed, I like that one a lot because it's more location focused, it's extremely specialized, and it's, it's just a lot harder for people to penetrate in.
I agree. And I'm trying to think of some others, Ron. We talked about hunting, we talked about subdividing. What else is there?
I think I mean, we talked about hunting. Farming is similar to
Farming.
that in terms of farm leases, stuff like that. These people take care of your land. Like if you get a good farm lease, something like that, like these can be long term leases. They're going to take very good care of your land. They're going to take pride in it. A lot of times they'll pay the taxes as well. So you really have no expenses I mean, there are no expenses for you. That's one that a lot of wealthy people are putting into long term play is farmland, and just land is not going anywhere. Like land is there's a limited amount of land. So if you hold land long enough, like and you're cash flowing every year, it's an extremely bent good way to diversify your portfolio, as well as have that cash flow.
As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.